Nothing like finishing out the final day of the regular season with a good old-fashioned rivalry matchup. This is the I-96 County Line Classic between Lawrence Tech and Madonna, but it is also senior day for the women's team this year. Welcome, everybody, to our broadcast on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. John Snow and Zach Prees on the call with you. And, Zach, we had a lot to talk about, and primarily so that Madonna is with a rather shortened roster, especially missing their top player.
Yeah, they're missing some really big scores. They're missing actually their leading scorer, Kiera Jenkins. She averages almost 13 a game on the season. They're going to be without her tonight, so it's going to leave it up to girls like Chanel King and other people. We'll see if they can pick up the slack or not.
Lawrence Tech celebrating two seniors tonight, Olivia Siedlecki and Maggie Long, both within the starting lineups, as the tip-off is won by Lawrence Tech. Siedlecki has missed a lot of different portions of the seasons due to injuries that date all the way back to her high school days. But, yeah, just to see her in full health to finish out her final year is definitely a blessing. And now Siedlecki with an aggressive drive. A little bit tipped on the rebound try. Madonna handles it.
And you love that physical take there out of her. Couldn't get it to go, but wasn't afraid to jump into contact.
Lawrence Tech and Madonna will miss the WAC championship tournament after this game. Basically, it is all done as Chanel King puts in that first bucket of this game.
And we talked about how important it will be for her to step up. She's their second leading scorer on the season. Missing their leading scorer, she might have to have a big game.
9 total players are basically not dressed up for the roster of the Crusaders. Lawrence Tech has been able to maneuver their entire roster in and out during the whole portion of the year. A give and go to Bailey Stevens, but that one goes off of her and out of play.
And the turnovers, they've been a little bit of a problem for this team this year. Turnovers and shooting have kind of plagued them, as it's no secret they've had a little bit of a rough year, so sometimes you'd love to see them slow it down a little bit, get some easier looks.
And the fact that they've been able to portion out just in teams of 4 and sometimes 5. For first-year head coach Paige Wright, she's been trying to find different ways to get instant offense, as Madonna with Chanel King bringing things up, going person to person on the defense.
Looked like they might have had a look there on the post. Didn't go to it, though.
Long feed pass, wildly caught nearby by Rodriguez. The drive in there, tight window pass, and a steal right out of the gates. Maddox Locke with the takeaway. Stevens now in the drive. A kick over. Maggie Long thought about it. Goes in and out into the wing. Bailey Stevens now will try to slow things up.
And Long might be an X factor here. She's one of the team's better shooters, maybe their second or third best shooter. Let's see if she can have an impact today.
There's that shot away, and Maggie Long with her first senior day bucket.
On cue or not?
Definitely on cue there, partner. And that is just one of the key things in which she can do at any time, just go off from three-point range. She's done that very consistent within her 5th year. Now another drive in to Rhea Moore. Inside the paint, working against Stevens. Little hook shot, just missed off the mark. Rebounded by Locke.
And a great box there from Siedlecki as well.
A long three-pointer attempt by Stevens and does not get the friendly bounce. A battle for the loose ball rebound is picked up by Marcela Rodriguez, but another takeaway. Locke is fouled on the way up, but a good steal by Maggie Long.
Yeah, and Long thought she got hit when she went up. Doesn't really matter. It's going to end up in free throws regardless, but you love to see these girls getting on the ground early.
One thing that's definitely interesting about this Madonna team is that within their averages, averaging just over 65 points a game, their opponents are just about half under that. And in terms of their scoring, they're actually shooting better than opponents, but yet the record says otherwise.
Yeah, and that's when, sometimes games are decided in the margins. We just saw a missed free throw here. That can come back to bite you. Turnovers. You can outshoot your opponents percentage-wise, but if you shoot way less shots than them because you're turning the ball over and giving up offensive rebounds, it doesn't even matter.
These two teams last matched up on December the 18th, and it was a 3-point victory by the Crusaders, all within those 60 to 65-point margins. A 3-ball from the wing is off the mark by Dakota Smith.
And you can see they're looking to run this offense through King with their leading scorer out there. A nice dribble drive. The shot didn't fall, though.
Lucky on the high wing, gives over to Long. She'll drive in the opposite way. That one hit the heel. Rebounded by Lucky. Another chance. That one was blocked by Moore. And Madonna with another good defensive stop. King working quickly. A drive down the lane. Got around Stevens. An aggressive drive by Chanel King.
Yeah, just that little stutter step hesitation right at the elbow there. Completely fooled Long.
And Long tries again, and once again it's off the back heel. Another rebound by Lucky. Lawrence Tech will reset. Now down low. Lucky inside the paint. With a little contact. Lucky lays it in.
Was able to get a little bit of a chicken wing. Not enough for it to be illegal, but a little bit of a chicken wing there gave her the angle.
Early back and forth. 2-point advantage for Lawrence Tech. 6.5 left to go. King toss over to the corner for Rodriguez. Was looking for that cutter pass on the inside. Got knocked down. Long with a takeaway. She brings it up the floor.
And she's been active so far, directing the offense.
They gave over to Abby Ray. Ray now at the high elbow. Get a little spin around and a block. Put on by Faith Jugworth. Madonna again with another takeaway.
That's about 3 blocks on the night for Madonna.
Another great drive and another great bucket. That time it's Dakota Smith who lays it in.
And Smith just put her head down, straight line drive. Sometimes you'll see guards try to go away from contact there. Not shying away from contact makes it a much easier finish.
Both sides have got subs lined up. Both these head coaches are thinking in more bunches. Now Stevens will take a drive of her own. Little contact that way. That one hits the side of the rim. Loose ball for the rebound, and it is picked up right in front of their head coach, Teresa Obi.
And normally we might say going deep on the bench would benefit Madonna, but they're missing 9 women for this game.
Little hook shot inside the paint. That one falls in for Jungworth in her freshman campaign from Willingston, Michigan.
She's averaging 7.1 a game.
We get a foul. I believe it's going to be before the shot, so this will be an inbound play. And for Marcela Rodriguez, that'll be her first.
And on the other end for Jungworth, it doesn't always have to be complicated. Basketball can really be a simple game. It's a good entry pass by the guard. She gathers, doesn't rush, turn, little right-handed jump hook over the top.
Lawrence Tech now with 3 subs in. So as Paige Wright has done a lot more within the later half of the year, just going deep into the bench. Sierra Robinson, Kate Jacobs, and Reese Williams are in. Give and go to Long. A good fake inside the paint. Ran into a double team, and Long is fouled on the way up.
Just the aggressiveness out of Long so far. She's been going to the hole. She's also let it fly 3 times already from behind 3-point range. She's taken more than half the team's shots, but hey, you love the aggressiveness, and she's created offense.
And with that, we go into our first media timeout of our opening game between Lawrence Tech and Madonna. The score is 8-6. 4:58 left to go here in our opening quarter, and we just talked about it over break here, Zach, the fact that Maggie Long has already taken 4 three-pointer attempts, nailed 1. She's aggressive on her drives. And it's basically just because it's senior day.
It is senior day, and she goes, you know what, this is my last shot. She's got nothing. She's not going to leave anything on the floor tonight. She's flying into defenders left and right and created a great opportunity at the free throw line. Chance to knock the game up here at 8.
Fifth-year campaign for Long, native of Wadsworth, Ohio. Definitely been an X factor and a multiple-year starter. We talked about the first time that these two teams matched up in a three-point finish. Lawrence Tech had a monster third quarter, scoring 24 points, but yet it was Madonna in the fourth that just edged them by 6 points, putting up 18 more for a final of 65-62. And none of those shots fall, and possession goes back to Madonna.
And that was a close call there. Maddox Locke couldn't believe it. She put her hands on her head saying, no.
Up top for Smith. Takes a drive in there. A cut over, low jump shot from inside the wing is no good by Humerikaus. Coming away with it is Reese Williams. Now Sierra Robinson will start up the offense. Down low quickly, inside of Jacobs. Backing away inside the paint, a drop set towards the baseline, and it'll rattle home.
And that's a great drop set from Jacobs. She's this team's leading scorer on the season, 11.5 a game. You can see why right there.
King up top to Smith. Now to Capaco. Got stopped up by Williams for the moment. Kind of a modified Euro step, but it does not fall. Rebounded by Jacobs. Now Locke quickly to Long. Lawrence Tech trying to work almost modified speed within transition. Now give and go. Long thought about it.
She wanted it.
She wanted it right there. You can see the eyes just light up. Another one. It's almost like on this type of day, you give her the ball, she's almost destined to shoot. Over to Locke, the corner three. Off the mark. Loose ball is picked up by Dakota Smith. Over to the wing again. Low 18-footer, and that one does not fall. As Humerikaus does not get that one to fall, but this foul is called on Jacobs going up as Ashley Capaco was going in.
Yeah, just a little bit of a loose ball. And, you know, in this gym, you got kind of soft rims, so sometimes it's kind of hard to get used to how the ball is going to come off different rims. These rims are particularly soft, and the ball kind of just bounces a little farther. Maybe she didn't box out quite as far as she should have, and it's going to result in a couple free throws. But first, a shoe tie. And there's nothing harder than tying your shoe when everyone's watching.
The pressure is definitely on when you're the only one who's doing the active work. Ashley Capaco, in her sophomore campaign, she's from Canton, Michigan, went to Salem High School as part of that trio of high schools out there with Canton, Plymouth, and Salem. But this is the kind of matchups in which we see often from this area, you know, Battle of I-96. And for this crowd size, last game of the year, both teams are not going to the playoffs, but yet this is more for just bragging rights.
And this is what you love about college basketball, right? You know, you hear people complain about professional basketball, that there's not the same passion. And this is what you love. I mean, you could call this a quote-unquote meaningless game, but there are no meaningless games in college basketball. You're playing for pride. Some of these girls are playing their last game ever in college hoops.
To the corner, quick catch and shoot three by Hoppert is no good. Loose ball is picked up by Robinson. Now to Jacobs. Inside the paint again. This time a step towards inside the paint. No good there. Ball is out of bounds, and it goes to the Crusaders.
And I like that by Jacobs. You know why? Because last time she did that, but she set up the drop step. This time she knows she went to the drop step last time, so she instead goes over the left shoulder. It didn't fall, but I love that she has a counter to that move.
Oh, behind the back, a no-look pass down low, and a good finish on the other end by Faith Jungworth. But off that good pass by Chanel King.
That was a great look. You can tell she's in full control of the offense. She sees the court. She's not getting sped up. Everything's working in slow motion for her.
And then a steal. Jungworth took it right out of Jacobs' hands and lost the handle, and they're going to call for the travel. You could see that happening just as about she was stopped there on the block.
Not necessarily a ball handler that you want on the fast break. The problem is there she took a couple steps and stopped. You're allowed to take 2 steps and go up with a shot or pass. If you take 2 steps and then stop and pivot, that's when you might get called.
Jungworth does go out. A couple more subs coming in for the Crusaders as Ava Hernandez is in. About a bit of a modified full court press put on by Madonna. Lawrence Tech has had their issues this year with full court presses, but they do get across half court this time. And nearly a throwaway pass. Liv Linden off the bench, able to corral that one. Williams will take a long three ball, and she drills it.
And Williams has been their best shooter so far this season. You love to see them slow down. Sometimes, even when you beat the press, it's easy to get worked up. You're emotionally worked up, and then you speed up in the half court when you don't have to. Right there, they settle down, they find the open woman, and she knocks it down.
Just under 2 minutes left to go in what has been a back and forth first quarter. We're not up at 11. Jacobs putting the pressure, and no more contact on that hook shot coming in by Amerikhaus. And that one does not fall. Linden now will bring things up. High post for Jacobs. Working against Terea Moore. Another drop set towards the baseline. Really far out there, and we're going to get a foul as that could have been an ugly landing.
Yeah, almost kind of got caught there. That could result in an injury. Fortunately, it doesn't. And for Jacobs, you love to see she's now gone to the drop step on both sides. A lot of bigs don't have that in their bag. She's just, like you said, a little far away from the basket. That would have been a really tough finish.
There's a couple of notches away from that block. This will be an inbound play. Simple feed pass, give and go. One more pass over to Jacobs. Stopped up, and yet very awkward when she's trying to look for that open pass. An easy takeaway for Terea Moore. Finds King, had an open look down low, but King keeps going, and the block and the bucket.
And King, she knows she has a mismatch quickness-wise. I don't think she thinks there's somebody out here who can stay with her laterally, and she's taking advantage of that. She's not settling for jumpers. I don't think she shot a jumper yet tonight. Actually, I take that back. She did knock down a three to open the game, but she's attacking the hole.
3-point opportunity right out of the gate for Chanel King, redshirt senior from Flint, Michigan. Went to Carmen Ainsworth out there, but very familiar with this entire conference as she's a transfer from Rochester. So she's had her fair share of battles with all the rest of the teams in the WAC.
And sometimes you wonder, how will that number 2 scorer feel suddenly being the number 1? She looks plenty comfortable.
Jose Mosley comes in, replaces Ashley Capaco, and now this is really more hard-nosed full-court press, and then a tip pays off, and a quick foul called on Hoppert.
And I thought that could have gone on King. We talked about that chicken wing earlier. King kind of raised that arm a little high up. I thought maybe they were going to call an offensive there on King. Obviously, though, it goes the other way.
And once again, Lawrence Tech having their struggles against that full-court press. But yet, Madonna has shown the variety of that full-court press. It was kind of like consistent within mid-court, but that time they went full-on, full coverage.
Yeah, and it's just so tough because sometimes as the inbound passer, you don't even realize. You're just la, you're going about your business. Sometimes and then you get the ball and you look up and they're in full court press, and that 5 seconds is counting down and pressure's on to get the ball in.
Another turnover. Hopper fell down trying to play coverage, and now Mosley with an aggressive drive on that baseline. About for the rebound, won by Moore, and Moore puts the putback.
And what a physical rebound. Moore has given up multiple inches in there, but she wins the physicality battle.
We're under a minute. And once again, that full court press pays off as that pass was too wide by Jacobs.
And it feels like they might have found something here. It feels like Madonna may have found something here in the full court. Wouldn't be surprised to see Lawrence Tech burn a timeout here. It's worth it. You've had 2 consecutive turnovers. It's been resulting in points. You want to slow this down before it gets out of hand.
48 seconds left to go in our first quarter. Moore at top of the arc. Here by that free-throw line. Takes a drive in against Ray. A good drop step with a spin move. And Moore with a bit of entanglement with Ray. So buckets keep resulting off of those turnovers. Once again, the full court press. Over to Williams, and a bad pass intercepted by King. Fakes it with a Euro step, but no good on the finish. Reese Williams with the pickup on the fast break. Nearly a walk. The entire Madonna bench wanted it, and another steal off a bad pass. King is fouled by Ray.
And if you turn the ball over right there, those are almost like I like to call them pick sixes in football. Turnovers, dead ball turnovers are one thing. Turnovers directly resulting in 2 points or free throws on the other end, that's a whole nother thing. Those really kill you.
Fourth team foul on Lawrence Tech. Both sides have 4 fouls apiece. First one that was called on Abby Ray. 6 seconds left. But yet this run that Madonna has found is basically a little spark here at the end of this quarter.
And again, I'd be shocked to see them go away from this full court pressure. I'm not sure why you would. The only thing is they are missing 9 women on this team today, so you wonder if they'll get a little bit gassed. But besides that, why go away from it?
It almost seems like they played it out just into their favor. Like you waited like the 2-minute mark, and that's when they went for it. They just all out, get the turnovers, get the buckets late. King makes the first, trying to put up 20 for Madonna here in the first quarter, and does so. A 9-point game. Stevens trying to get for one more heave. Stops up and just short. First quarter comes to an end. Madonna basically forcing the pressure on Lawrence Tech early.
Yeah, and that's the only reason they're up. It's 20-11, great first quarter. But it would have been a great first quarter for Lawrence Tech if they could have figured out that pressure. Now they've got the intermission to kind of figure things out.
We're going to step aside for the moment. We'll be right back for the start of the second quarter. Lawrence Tech trailing by 9. Back here for the start of the second quarter of our opening matchup of this doubleheader. We encourage you to stick around afterwards because we got another big matchup coming away in men's college basketball. Lawrence Tech, Madonna, neck and neck, 4 and 5 spot within the conference. I mean, that's basically one to look forward to. But in the meantime, we've got another good one brewing right here. Madonna ran away with a 8-point run towards the end of that first quarter, and now they get the ball to start. And a good feed pass. Mosley all alone is fouled on the way up.
And you consider that a good foul. It's better than giving up the layup. Now, a miscommunication on the screen out there. When your man is setting a screen, you need to be communicating. You need to know whether you're going to switch that screen or whether you're going to stay, whether you're going to hedge and fight through it. So you need to be talking on defense. Communication on defense is just as important as athleticism and technique on defense, and right there they didn't communicate.
Mosley nails down that first. She's also in her senior campaign. She is a native of Detroit, transferred from also right down the road at Schoolcraft College. Consistent as it gets with making those shots. One sub in for Lawrence Tech as Sierra Robinson comes in. It's now an 11-point game. Lawrence Tech, and again, having to deal with this full court press. Madonna has just gone deep within the playbook. They're able to get past half court, but now a triple trap. Maddox Locke able to get it out. Seed Lucky working against Mosley, and her drop step and a foul. Seed Lucky is going to the line.
And I love to see that aggressiveness from Seed Lucky. She knows she's got a little bit of size there. She's got a height advantage inside, and she doesn't bail her out. Now, how they beat the press there? You beat the press by passing the ball. It's tough to beat the press dribbling, unless you're a wizard. Unless you're Kyrie Irving, it's tough to beat the press dribbling. A lot of quick passes there. That's how they beat that press.
That one does not get the friendly bounce. Seed Lucky, as mentioned, one of the other seniors celebrated tonight. From Grand Rapids, went to Jensen High School out there. Yet having to deal with all the injuries, that being shoulder and knee injuries, dating all the way back to her high school playing days. So she's been up and down the road, on and off the court. So it is just a great sight to see her play in her final game. Now we go the other way with Madonna. America's lost the handle and able to get it right back. Give to Chanel King. Having a monster first half, already up to 9 points. Gives way down low to Moore. Good funk fake, but good stake. Able to get through a double team, the bucket, and the foul.
And talk about a footwork masterclass there from Moore. She fakes multiple times. She knew she didn't. Again, she has a height disadvantage in there, but she splits the defense, and she's so strong she can finish through contact.
Second three-point opportunity for Madonna in this first half. First it was Chanel King, and now it's Terea Moore. Able to bring it home. So once again, the full court press, bona fide person-to-person coverage. They really switched up their looks towards the end of that first half, but now they're just going right after it. And once again, Lawrence Tech able to break through. Stevens, his way to Sidlecki. High pass caught there by Long. Up top for Stevens, another tight pass. Shot clock is winding down. Sidlecki will take a drive. Will pull up hook shot is no good. Taken away by Dakota Smith. Smith almost a 2-on-1. Low floater, and that one falls.
That's a nice finish from Smith. You know, that's a tough shot. You're going almost full speed there. A lot of touch on that shot.
Almost forcing Lawrence Tech to go against their bag of tricks, and we get a quick foul called, and I believe it's going to be on Mosley. And if you're in the full court press, that's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, and it feels like the Blue Devils have sort of figured something out here to beat the press. They've been passing the ball a lot more, a lot less dribbling into double teams beating the full court press here the last couple of possessions. Now they just got to figure out paint defense. They've given up so many points in bunches in the paint. They've fouled a lot too on defense, so the defense is going to have to tighten up.
3 subs in for Lawrence Tech, as we see many times throughout the year. Just the bunches go in. Jacobs with another drop stab, and that one does not fall. Good pressure there by Mosley, able to hold her ground. And now she'll bring things up. Going one-on-one against Ray, and too strong on the finish. Rebounded by Liv Linden. Blue Devils are trying to work quickly. A pull-up three is off the mark by Sierra Robinson. Ray able to knock the ball out of play, and Madonna will have to inbound.
I love the confidence from Robinson. You know what? There's not necessarily anything wrong with letting a rhythm three fly once in a while. Now, there's a time and place, but I don't mind that one.
Madonna's already shooting nearly 53% early in this first half, taking a total of 19 shots, made 10. Lawrence Tech 4 out of 20. So with every shot that they have made them count. Is Madonna, loose ball. Good job by Jacobs, able to cut in front. This time Lawrence Tech gets a steal to help their cause. Linden again loses the handle, and a steal for a steal, turnover for turnover. Chanel King the other way, working against Robinson, foul, and another bucket.
And I can't talk enough about just how tough she is. Physically tough, also tough is in the basketball term tough. She's got a handle, and she can finish through contact. How many times have we seen her and Moore go up through contact and get the two?
Second time that's happened in this one for Chanel King. Already up to 11. Has definitely the poise and definitely the phase. Probably put up a monster game thus far.
And if we walked in here with no context and I told you they were missing their leading scorer, you probably wouldn't believe me.
Exactly, but it is definitely believable at this point. Chanel King being the second best scorer amongst the squad this year. It's an 18-point game. Robinson, a feed pass down low. Good cut, but no finish by Abby Ray.
Great look from Robinson there.
Smith the other way. Good fake pass, a kick out. Wing three is off the mark. Rebounded by Liv Linden. Hummerhouse was trying to really put the dagger through in this first half. Another good look, but it was a tight window. And another turnover. Chanel King again, one-on-one. Going for the Euro, and it's going to be a charge.
Great job by Linden to step in there. She saw that Euro coming. She went down. Looks like she's okay. That's a tough hit to take. A lot of people, you kind of go, I'm going to make a business decision here. But she sacrifices her body for the play.
And kind of missed on the tail end of that. Chanel King, after the foul, still elected to take a practice shot while 3 Blue Devils players were sitting underneath helping out their teammate. Definitely something to look forward to as maybe this game progresses. Lachelle Moreland-Jones is in off the bench for Lawrence Tech. Maggie Long with a long 3-ball off the mark.
Great look from her. You love to see her shoot that. One of this team's better shooters just couldn't quite get it to go.
King again looking for a kick out. Up top again, another 3-ball from the wing. This time it's off the top end of the basket and out.
And it has not been the shooting for Madonna that's gotten them this 18-point lead. Like we said, it's been the transition buckets and it's been the dominance in the paint. Despite giving up height inside the paint, they've just been the tougher team so far. So if the Blue Devils can figure that out, they should be in a good spot.
Linden, a kick out. Robinson will drive in the opposite wing this time, and Robinson makes it fall.
That's a big-time shot, and I'd love to see Liv Linden work as a facilitator. I think she has one of the tighter handles on this team. She's one of the better ball handlers on this team, even though she's not necessarily a scorer, and she does a great job distributing there.
Another kick out, but this time it's from the corner, and that one's no good. That's the 4th straight miss. This Madonna team's only shooting at 25% from three-point range all year as Moreland Jones looking for contact. Sling up top, Linden with a good fake. Robinson will try again, but no. She likes to hold things up. Off the screen, nearly a walk there.
Close there as well.
Jacobs will try one for herself, and that one's just short. Picked up by Marcela Rodriguez.
Jacobs not necessarily a great three-point shooter. She can stretch it out a little bit. You'll love the confidence.
Confidence is definitely something this Lawrence Tech team has been trying to search for all year with all the struggles they've been having. And we get a foul from behind as Linden was trying to swat that one away.
And you know, at some point as a coach, you'll kind of say, we'll take a couple fouls. You'd rather, you'll hear coaches say they'd rather you foul being too aggressive than not foul all game. Sometimes coaches will even say, you know, I need somebody to pick up a foul right here just playing hard. And Linden right there, she goes for the ball. She wasn't about to get bullied in the post. She does pick up a foul, but you love the aggressiveness.
Only the second one called on Linden. This one's inbounded to Jungwirth, and we get another foul called. This time it's on Jacobs. Second straight time that Lawrence Tech has been called while working against Jungwirth down low.
That one seemed a little ticky-tack. I mean, again, I'm 150 feet away, so the referee standing 4 feet away certainly has a better look than I do, but that seemed a little ticky-tack to me.
And with that foul, that puts Madonna into the bonus early with 5:04 left to go in this first half, in which there's already a 15-point lead. And for Faith Jungwirth, redshirt freshman, went to Lansing Catholic, trying to add on.
She's shooting 64 from the line on the season.
Already has 2 rebounds and a block early in this first half. Lawrence Tech trying to find answers.
You got to box out here if you're the Blue Devils.
And that one does not go in their favor again. Hummerhouse, and that one is fouled. Once again, Lawrence Tech, 3 straight fouls on this defensive side.
And that one wasn't questionable. And right there on the box out, it's easy to get sucked in. You start going toward the ball. But what you got to do is you got to create some space between you and the rim because that ball could careen off the rim far out there like it did off that shot. So you got to back your defender up, and then when the ball comes off the rim, then you release, and then you go for the ball. That way it doesn't go over your head like it did right there.
That one falls for Paige Merrickhouse in her junior campaign. She's from Essexville, Michigan, went to Bay City Western High School. Trying to add on to the Madonna lead. Second attempt goes off the back heel. Picked up by Maggie Long.
A great job by Williams boxing out the shooter there. That went right back to Merrickhouse, but Williams with a great box.
Long, fake the 3-ball. Drives in and out. Gives way to Selecki. They had Maddox Locke open right there down low in the block. Off the screen. Good coverage by Moore, and they're going to call a foul, but still, that's great ball screen coverage.
It is, and you know, again, that's where you say, like, you'll live with that type of a foul, just the over-aggression. You're going for the ball, playing hard, but it is obviously going to result in a foul. Can't take out somebody's legs.
Cannot, absolutely. We go into our second media timeout. Madonna starting to run away with the first half. Scores 32-15. We'll be right back. 32-15 with 4:37 left to go in this first half. Lawrence Tech and Madonna in a good old-fashioned rivalry matchup between these two schools that are 20 minutes apart between Southfield and Livonia. The I-96 County Line Classic as Robinson will take a drive inside. And a bad pass, but yet a lucky bounce. It finds its way to Reese Williams and a long three ball by Robinson. No good. Rebounded by Maddox Locke. Lawrence Tech keeps possession. Siedlecki fake the handoff, working against Moore. A drop step inside the baseline, and no good there. Rebounded by Mosley.
And you love the aggressiveness from Siedlecki, just not necessarily having the strength to actually get a good shot there.
Mosley was nearly open down low. Moore up top the key. His way to Rodriguez. Now back to Moore. Bit of a more of a zone read on the defense for Lawrence Tech. And now wide open lane. Moore is nearly a clean block, but they're going to call a foul on Siedlecki.
Yeah, Siedlecki got a lot of ball up top, but she got a lot of body down low. I think that's what it was. And as a player, it's so frustrating because you go, I got ball, and the ref will go, well, you also decked her.
It's definitely one of those 50-50 toss-ups. Like, you try to go for all of it, but yet 9 times out of 10, the referee's going to call it. 3:37 left to go.
And it seemed like there may have been a miscommunication there. I forget who it was on the perimeter. She was almost playing that like she thought she had help to her left. She was shading Moore to her left so far, and Moore just drove straight by her for what would have been a layup if Siedlecki hadn't put in that effort.
Siedlecki is subbed out for Mia Burgess. Her freshman campaign coming all the way from Lynchville Park, Arizona. But yet for Terea Moore at the line, she's only in her junior campaign. All the way up from Saginaw, went to Mid-Michigan College for a short time.
How impressive has she been so far this afternoon?
Very.
I mean, the strength in the post, the patience, and she can take it from the perimeter too.
Once again, full court press. They've gone away with this for a little bit. That being Madonna. We've seen like the last 5 minutes or so, they've gone away from it, but now they bring it back out to really force more pressure against Lawrence Tech. Reese Williams from the corner. Oh, no good. Rebounded by Burgess. Trying to find the handle on the ball. Able to find it for the pass.
And that's a good look for Williams. She's been this team's best shooter this season. Just came up a little strong.
It's almost like a 2-minute drill with Madonna. Like with those final minutes, give all the pressure you can. Locke with a little lay-in, just rolls off. As the shot clock was winding down, rebounded by Chanel King. King has been one of the best athletes in this entire first half. Gets stopped up in the paint, and a bad pass caused miscommunication and a rare turnover that time by Madonna.
Yeah, and Long's throwing some emotion there, clapping in King's face a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what? You're down 19. Sometimes somebody's got to go out there and show some emotion and generate some energy.
Lawrence Tech now trying to capitalize on that turnover. Over to the corner for Locke. Burgess trying to work against Moore down low. Off the screen. Bit of a half screen that time. Locke ran into a double team, nearly drugged the foot. Looking for a hook shot, and she gets her own rebound. And Mosley is going to be called with a foul on that loose ball.
Yeah, and great work by Locke there, just following. She was fouled, but she followed her own shot, I think she had an open woman on the right wing, maybe that she could have kicked that ball to. But again, you're late in the shot clock, and sometimes the best thing you can do is just get the shot up.
Lawrence Tech is now also within the bonus with 2:27 left to go. So now all these free throw shots are more crucial to really dig back into this deficit.
And again, there are no 19-point shots in basketball last time I checked, so you're probably not going to tie this on the next possession. What you can do is say, okay, let's get this to 12 before halftime, and then let's get it to 6 or 7 before the fourth quarter, and then you're right back in the ballgame.
Locke in her first campaign has been an everyday starter, and she'll be subbed out for Abby Ray. You see, it's not so much that Lawrence Tech has been just subbing everybody in and out to get everybody playing time. It's more so to just to find the right combinations to put together some good talent on offense.
Yeah, they really have had trouble, like you said, just chemistry on offense. Creating good looks has been an issue for them.
Up top for Rodriguez. Gives way to Moore. Looking for that good look down low by Jungwirth, but yeah, she stepped out of bounds. It was a good look there at the time by Moore.
Yeah, great deflection, though, by Williams. She got her head around almost like a DB right there, just barely got her hands on the ball and was able to tip it out of bounds. Full extension.
This type of athletic plays really pay off, and we're going to get a foul away from the ball as Dakota Smith was working against Maggie Long. And you can see Long with her smiling expression, just getting these fouls called, getting her chances. It's more so the positive side even when you're down.
And this is where, like you said, like being in the double bonus now, where there is no such, being in the bonus now is big, because now this can easily result in 2 points. And this is where playing that full court press can bite you in the butt, because you do pick up some fouls playing that press.
That one does fall that time for Maggie Long. 2 rebounds, 1 steal, only 3 points to boot. She's taken her variety of three-point shooting and missed on the first 2 attempts the last time to this line.
Yeah, we talked about how aggressive she came out. She came out firing on all cylinders.
It's out of bounds, and it does stay with Lawrence Tech. Madonna had 2 players going for that possession, and yet none could get it.
And it seems like there may have been a little bit of a wake-up call. I'm not sure if something was said in a huddle by one of the coaching staff, but these girls are playing really hard right now.
Burgess will take a drive, took a very low shot, and then a big deflection finds its way to Humerikhaus. Smith down inside. A good drop set with a spin, but they are going to call for the walk. Faith Jungworth nearly in disbelief out there.
And you saw the referee, I think she might be in disbelief because the referee on the baseline had his hand up going foul, but the other referee overturned him and said, nope, travel before the foul.
And that same referee is explaining to head coach Teresa O.B., saying that my call overturned the main call on the baseline. Now Robinson working against Chanel King, but King playing a really great defense. Put it on the handles. Having herself a good first half. Good fake and cannot make the finish. Loose ball picked up in the corner. Madonna with another chance. Now Moore will take a drive instead, looking for an open woman inside. Jungworth cannot make that one fall. 2 straight open chances, and Paige Wright is going to call a timeout.
And I like this. Maybe she saw her team was getting a little out of control there. She wants to get this last minute 15 is huge. Like we talked about, if you can cut this to 12, even 10 points, that'd be massive going into half.
This will be a quick 30-second timeout, but the fact is, with a score of 34-18, what do you think this timeout right here means for Paige Wright?
Yeah, I feel like she's just going to talk, all right, let's make.
The ball's going to be inbounded nearby half court, so at least they were able to get the ball somewhat up the court before they could really put on the full court press. And from the way it looks, it seems that Madonna is not going to go full on press at this scenario.
And maybe the Blue Devils being in the bonus is discouraging Madonna from going to that press, because we've already seen them knock down, I think, 3 free throws well in that bonus scenario.
Stevens working around that ball screen, got stopped up, gives way to Williams. Off another screen, Madonna really holding good around that perimeter. Over the top pass, good look from Maggie Long, fouled on the way up.
Nice back cut by Long. So she's being face guarded. And when you're a shooter, what you can do, when these defenders are chasing you around, they know the scouting report on her. They know she can shoot. And you cut hard to the three-point line, then suddenly back cut, and it's a great look from the big.
3rd straight trip for Maggie Long to the charity stripe. Makes that first attempt. 52 seconds left to go. Lawrence Tech would definitely like to get this to under double digits.
And sometimes that's what you need to see from a shooter like Long, is just see the ball go in the basket. That could ignite her in the second half.
Has only made 2 out of 6 so far in 3 trips. So now Chanel King trying to put a bit of a modified exclamation point for Madonna in this first half.
And we'll see if they go 2 for 1 here.
Williams really working down low with Jungworth. This is a bit of a widespread formation. King with some good handles, working against contact, no good. Shot clock still winding down, but Lawrence Tech comes away with possession. Stevens with an aggressive drive, took a shot from way out here by the paint, and no good. Shot clock is turned off.
And that just wasn't needed in that situation. You had the last shot. You could have held for the last shot. Seemed like she rushed that a little bit.
Final seconds. And they're going to call a foul before the final seconds were taken down. And Dakota Smith is going to go to the line to probably put on the final touches for the Crusaders in this first half.
Yeah, big time change in momentum there. You go from you having the last shot to now Madonna's sitting at the free throw line with a chance to extend this lead all the way potentially up to 17 going into halftime.
Dakota Smith in her sophomore year from Toledo went to Notre Dame Academy. But yet, final stat line for Chanel King in this first half, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 steals has really been a big difference in this first half.
And those 4 steals, it feels like all of them have been, we talked about those kind of pick 6 steals.
Stevens will pull off from the logo, and that one is no good, and that's how the first half comes to an end. So it's Madonna using that full court press to their advantage has resulted in a double-digit lead.
Yeah, and we saw the Blue Devils get a little bit of momentum back. It feels like that momentum, though, got stolen back right at the end in those last couple of seconds.
So we're going to step aside for right now. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for the second half of our opening matchup here on our doubleheader of the I-96 County Line Classic. Welcome back, everybody. Second half of action with women's college basketball between Lawrence Tech and Madonna. The Crusaders currently have a 36-19 lead. John Stowe and Zach Parise back with you. And Zach, the stat lines that we've been staggering at for most of the half, it's basically been this: 7-1 fast break points, Madonna leads. 8-3 in terms of steals, Madonna leads. And then the biggest one, 22 points in the paint, compared to 4 on the side of Lawrence Tech.
Yeah, it's been really tough going for Kate Jacobs and for Liv Sidlecki down there. They just don't seem to have the strength to kind of move these Madonna defenders. On the other side of things, Madonna has had tons of success in the paint despite giving up some height there.
Madonna will start with possession. Chanel King with a monster first half, putting up 12 points, looking to add on. And get a quick foul right out of the gate. Lawrence Tech looked like they going more zone defense if they went person to person in that first half.
And you know, that's good and bad because at one point you're like, okay, so Madonna shoots 25% from 3 on the year. They haven't made one in the first half. So you feel like you can go zone. You can live with that 3-point shot. It's also tougher to rebound out of a zone. They're already having trouble boxing out. This can make it even tougher, so watch out for that.
Foul was on Bailey Stevens. That's her first.
Looks like sort of a matchup zone.
Corner shoot. And that one does rattle home. Shut out of the corner by Marcela Rodriguez.
That's one way to get them out of a zone. You can shoot them out of the zone. You say, well, they're 0 for 4 in the first half. You go to a zone, first possession, knockdown.
First 3 ball after the 5th attempt, after they only attempted 4. And just like Lawrence Tech, Madonna with a quick foul out of the gate. This time it's going to be Faith Jungworth.
Yeah, and Jungworth kind of waving off the ref here going, but yeah, she got her over the back a little bit there. You got to give the offensive player, it's almost like football in that case. You can't impede their way to the ball, and she did.
This one's inbounded to Maggie Long, working quickly down low to Olivia Sidlecki. Got stopped up high within the paint, has to give way, and almost looked like a walk. Now give way to Long. 3 ball from the wing, and Maggie Long hits another.
And Long is scratching and clawing her way to try to stay in this ball game. It's a 17-point game. This thing isn't over by any means, and it's in large part due to her. Now, she's had a rough night at the free throw line. She hasn't shot the ball great, but she's, I think, in my opinion, one of the only reasons why they're in this game at all.
Lawrence Tech shot 50% from free throw range. That one was tipped by Ray on that 3-ball attempt, picked up by Moore underneath, and she stepped out of bounds before she could take a second shot.
And again, you see the strength there from Moore. So she did step out of bounds, but if she hadn't stepped out of bounds, I think that was going to be a layup. I mean, she just puts a shoulder into the defender, and she's having her way inside.
39-22. Long will try again. Way far out from the wing. That one hits the heel. Wild bounce. Able to get out to Sidlecki from the high elbow, and that one does not fall. Rebounded by Moore.
Not a bad look from Sidlecki. She got some space there.
Good look up there. Another one from the corner. And again, third straight time they have tried to get Rodriguez into the mix.
Yeah, and it seems like that's
bit of displeasure as this call is going with Madonna after that ball went out of play.
Yeah, and Rodriguez seems to be their answer to this zone. They're just going to camp her in the corner and say, hey, if you're going to give us that shot, she's got the green light. So far, she's 1 for 3 this half. We'll see how that plays out.
After a quick discussion, no reversal on the call by the officials. This one's going to be inbounded from right in front of the Madonna bench. And meanwhile, the main official in front of the scorer's desk, almost trying to make sure there was no change in the shot clock. So Madonna keeps possession. Put on good handles on Locke. A little floater. That one does not fall in by Smith, but second chance does go in by Moore.
And again, it's the physicality and the positioning. And if you're not going to get a body on her, she's going to corral that every time and finish.
Maggie Long faked it that time. Nearly had Stevens open on a cut, but yeah, it was kind of blocked. Abby Ray with a long 3. That one's off the mark. Rebounded by Chanel King. King working quickly, decides to hold things up. There was a parade of Blue Devils players waiting for her in the paint.
Yeah, about a 1-on-4 there. She made the right decision.
On that pass, Long able to cut in, and that pass nearly taken away, so pass for pass, and again, turnover. King underneath, and Long fouls her on the way up.
Long with a good foul there. You know, you'd rather do that than give up the free 2. I'm not sure what how many fouls she's got on the game, you do want to be careful. She's been their main offensive proponent so far.
Only her first, so no need to panic there. Team second. And once again, Chanel King trying to add on to her point total.
And again, that's another relatively unforced turnover. I mean, she wasn't really under pressure. She's trying to make an outlet pass to an open player, but just can't quite get the ball over the outstretched arms of King.
And one of the things that we looked at, the fact that the turnovers and also points off of turnovers, they're basically almost neck and neck, and yet it feels so lopsided in terms of the score.
It does feel lopsided, and I feel like it's because the turnovers that Lawrence Tech has had have been such big momentum killers.
Madonna went for the full court press. Lawrence Tech able to pull through. Locke with a second chance. That's no good. Selecki on a third chance. Third time's the charms, they say.
Nice finish there by Selecki, just kind of camping out on the other side. Never assume your teammate's going to make the shot. She could have gotten lazy there, but she didn't assume that layup was going to be made, and it pays off.
Far side again. Rodriguez with another chance. No good. A rebound. Second chance. No good on that side. And a big fall. And Abby Ray taking exception to the entanglement. There's been some chippiness. There's been some chippy moments between these two teams throughout the majority of this game, and finally I think it reached its boiling point.
Yeah, like you said, it goes back to the first half. There was that somebody hit the floor hard on the other end, and you said we'll see if that comes up later in the game. It seems like it may have eventually came up right there. I didn't see anything dirty necessarily. Certainly physicality inside.
They're going to take both teams off the court, and now it's going to be up to the officials as to how they assess this.
And again, sometimes, there is a line to be crossed, and you want to keep it basketball. You want to keep it basketball, but it's not necessarily. Sometimes you gotta stand up for yourself, and sometimes you gotta get a little physical. That can light a spark under your team. You'll see coaches even take technical fouls sometimes, knowingly so, giving up a point or two just to kind of light a fire under their squad. So we'll see if that does so for either squad.
Dakota Smith was the one that was entangled with Abby Ray, and one thing about Abby Ray, she has been basically the hard-nosed player in terms of inside the paint majority of this year. She is not afraid to let a little chippiness go, start running the mouth and, trying to light a fire underneath her opponents. In which that can go back, that can go good. It also could go bad, go against you in terms of fouls.
Yeah, we got a 3 official discussion here going on at the free throw line.
And honestly, this could go either way, or yet they could just go to the alternative motive and just assess technical fouls to both players.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see a double tech here. I mean, there was potentially a little bit of a body slam there. You could call that a flagrant, but again, it's tough without being able to go back and review the play to go back in time and call that a flagrant foul. We'll see if they get Ray for kind of getting up and getting in her opponent's face. Sometimes it's the second man that gets caught, as the saying goes. So you get slammed to the ground, you get up and retaliate, and then the refs see the retaliation. So we'll see if that's what happens as well.
Ray currently being checked out by the athletic training staff. Ray also dealt with a facial injury, took a basketball to the face a couple weeks ago on the road against Cornerstone. So they are going to assess one foul to Madonna.
And I don't believe that foul was called live. So I guess the referees discussed and one of them saw something or remembered seeing something that they hadn't seen originally and were confident enough in that call to go back and change the call.
So I stand corrected. It was actually Faith Jungworth that was in the entanglement, and they did call her for the main foul. And now we'll see if they did the same for Abby Ray.
Yeah, well, if anything's called on Ray, I would imagine it'd be a technical, right? Because she didn't really have any physical contact there. It was just chippiness, getting up and chirping a little bit.
And it appears that that's the only foul they have given out. Sierra Robinson, that be, coming in for Ray. This will be an inbound play, so only the one foul was assessed out of that whole mess.
And you wonder if Ray's out of the game because they're worried about injury or whether they just want her to calm down a little bit. You go, you know what, let's not let things get out of control here.
Lawrence Tech able to get through the full court press. Play resumes. And what is now a 9-point game. Locke gives way to Sierra Robinson. Very close to that half-court line.
Yeah, dangerously close.
Robinson around the screen, little floater on the run, and that one falls in.
And I love how Sierra Robinson has played so far this game. She doesn't get a ton of playing time. From what I've seen today, I think she deserves a little bit more minutes. I mean, she's got some quickness that not a lot of guards have on this squad.
Dakota Smith gives way to Jungworth. Inside, quick passing to Chanel King from the corner. That three goes in and out. Rebounded by Jungworth, and whistle blows, and this will be a jump ball. Possession goes to Lawrence Tech.
Yeah, so they get possession here and a big chance to cut into the lead. It's a 17-point game. Like we talked about, you're not going to tie this up at the end of the third unless things go perfectly right for you. But what you can do is get this down to maybe single digits, 9, 8 points, if you can go on a little bit of a run here, and that's got to be the goal.
A run is definitely what Madonna did close towards the end of the first half. Lawrence Tech trying to repeat the same. Maddox Locke able to get through half court, keeps going on the run, able to get around one defender, and that one does not fall. Madonna now quick to the other side of the court. Smith on a spin move, fade away, that one rolls off, rebounded by Moore, but this is going to be a foul on the floor before the shot.
And you'd love to see on the other end, I think, just a little bit more patience. I like the aggressiveness, but you're going into a one-on-two at the rim, and they haven't had success there all night. I think they're giving up some athleticism to Madonna, so when you've got an athleticism disadvantage, you can't necessarily try to finish over multiple players like that. That's going to be really tough.
On this inbound play is all the way back up top to Dakota Smith. They fake the handoff to Chanel King, but she gets it right there. King off the reach, and they're going to flag that one. Robinson trying to plead her case about the offensive foul.
Yeah, Sierra Robinson just clotheslined her a little bit there. She's got her arms out wide, and you want to teach defenders to keep their arms out wide, but you can't keep them there when somebody tries to drive by you. You can't just clothesline somebody who's trying to drive by, so she just got to move her feet a little bit more, play defense with your body and not with your arms.
Only the second foul called against Robinson. This will be another inbound play. That's the fourth team foul against Lawrence Tech. And one more would put Madonna into the bonus. And we're just about almost 5 minutes away. A little fadeaway jumper is no good. And good box out there by Maddox Locke. Able to get Reese Williams a chance for that rebound.
I'd love to see them get Reese Williams some looks from three. She's been their best shooter from long range this year. She's hardly even gotten a look.
There's a look right there for Maggie Long, and another one falls. Third three ball for Maggie Long on her senior day.
And again, she's just willing this team in this game. It's a 14-point game now, folks. This isn't anywhere near over, and Maggie Long is a big reason, if not the only reason why she's leaving it all out in the line in her last collegiate contest.
8 points so far in her final home game. Low and look for Jungworth, and that was basically bound to happen.
Yeah, and that's some quick passing to beat that zone. It's similar to beating the press. You don't want to dribble necessarily to beat a zone. You cut to the open spot. They found her, and now she's going to get a couple of free throws here.
And with that, we go into our first media timeout of the second half. Madonna still leads. Lawrence Tech still trying to hang around. 43-29 will step aside. Back to live action. 4:45 left to go. And that last foul did put Madonna into the bonus. Second straight quarter in which Lawrence Tech has fouled their way to put the Crusaders into the bonus, usually at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, and they got to be careful here because there's still 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes remaining, and you could give up a lot of points at the free throw line if you're not careful.
Still one more quarter left to play. And Faith Jungwirth able to put down both free throws. She'll be subbed out for Mosaic Mosley.
I love to see that Sierra Robinson's remaining in the game. I think she has a dribble driving ability that none of these other guards on the Blue Devil squad really have.
Once again, the full court press. Locke able to try to get over to Jacobs, but Chanel King trying to intercept, and they did call a foul.
And King's kind of jogging around going, oh, I thought I had a free two there. She almost got it, was that close. Did get tagged with the foul, though. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay, partner. Only second foul called on Michelle King, so this will be an inbound. And here's that athleticism by Robinson you were mentioning. Just the good handles, simple handles on that basketball. Around the screen of Jacobs. Over to Locke. They will get for a double team. A good pass on the run, and Jacobs cannot make the finish. That was a clear lane for a bucket, for an assist and a two. And now Mosley on the other end. Stopped inside. Williams put up the wall, but Mosley got it over.
And that is a tough finish. And you see Mosley flexing after that, just saying, I'm too big. Now, she may not be physically too big, but she's plenty strong. That was great defense by Williams.
Down low. More like a high elbow for Jacobs. Got around and looking for the reverse hook and able to get it with the left hand.
And you love to see the confidence out of Jacobs. She just smoked a layup. Oh, you know she's kicking herself for that, but you go right back to her, and she rewards him for it.
Nearly an open look underneath. A cut inside, little fadeaway jumper is no good by Amerikhaus. And now it's high, more like a second chance, and trying to get more on the cut. And she's fouled, and once again, Madonna goes to the line.
Yeah, and that's where you got to be more physical than that on the boards if you're the Blue Devils. Dakota Smith just got a rebound over 3 Blue Devils. You can't afford that when you're trying to get back into a game. Somebody has to put a body on her. You put your butt into her and you box her out, get her out of there. That's a real head scratcher if you're a coach.
Foul was called against Maggie Long. That's only her second as Moore gets in that first free throw. Liv Linden has checked in for Sierra Robinson. So once again, Paige Wright keeps continuing to move pieces in and out, sometimes in chunks, sometimes it's individuals. That one rattles home. Still an 18-point game.
And again, like we talked about off air, Moore has given up about 6 inches inside in some of these matchups, but she's just been so physical with her body so far.
Liv Linden able to get everything past half court. Little feed pass, but not too long. That was an easy takeaway for Terea Moore.
Yeah, Jacobs had her woman sealed.
High off the glass. What a great drive by Amerikhaus.
Yeah, nice finish there. I mean, I was about to say, a little bit of a bad shot there, but hey, it's not a bad shot if it goes in.
Once again, a near takeaway. Linden was in a trap. Long trying to get the Jacobs, and Amerikhaus able to cut in front.
Good drive by Long there. Gave it up just a tad too late. She had an open woman for a second. Great defense and recovery to knock it out of bounds. But nonetheless, again, Long continuing to be kind of the spark in this offense.
Under 3 minutes and a 20-point game now. Lawrence Tech trying to hang around. Nearly had Long open on the opposite wing. Jacobs will take a drive, but yeah, there's a foul right before the shot attempt, and they are going to get Terea Moore.
Yeah, good take by Jacobs there. You know, you don't necessarily expect her to go off the dribble. There looked like they were running a play for her to come around that screen and maybe shoot the spot up 3. So she recognized that Moore kind of over-contested that, and she decided to drive.
Inbound to Williams right out of the gate. Williams gets her first bucket.
And Williams is going to have to be a part of this comeback if it's going to happen here down the stretch. Like I said, she's a good shooter. Maybe seeing the ball go in the basket there will light a fire under her.
Tangled
a
up
lot
with
of contact.
There is down low and a bad pass, and that will cost Madonna. But yet we have seen quite a bit, just those matchups down low in the post with Terea Moore and Kate Jacobs, and now Reese Williams getting into the action.
Yeah, and you kind of have to be, because one thing she can do so well, she's so physical, she can win early. Sometimes when she gets the ball, you're feeling like, well, why didn't the player play better defense? Well, the problem is sometimes you can lose that matchup before she even gets the ball. So right there, Williams is trying to push her out, not let her get that deep position.
Linden around the screen, and that's going to be an offensive foul. You could see that coming. You could see. And meanwhile, Liv Linden also hit the deck as well, and she's holding that hamstring. There has been a lot of physicality in this game, and that was definitely away from the play. The offensive foul called against Jacobs. First, Abby Ray on the contact below the basket, and now Liv Linden being checked out by the athletic training staff.
Looks like she's going to get off on her own power here, which is good to see.
Always good to see there, but yet for Lawrence Tech, that's a costly offensive foul right there because you just got a turnover off a bad pass.
Yeah, and that's just, again, it's a momentum killer, and it's an unforced error, and that's a no-brainer call. You're never going to get away with that. I mean, that was a complete. You got momentum like you're motioning to me right now. It's a two-arm shove. I mean, that's a block in the back.
It is. You can just see the way she just shifted the feet.
There may have. Again, this has been a physical game, but you got to keep it basketball.
They have a more spread formation zone read, keeping everything around the perimeter. Pass over to the wide wing, and that one falls off, but a rebound by Capaco. And once again, Madonna gets a second chance of possession.
Yeah, and the Blue Devils are willing to give up these shots.
And that one pays off as that one airmailed the basket, rebounded by Stevens. Down low. Jacobs again going far around, and that time Mosley just held her own underneath. Pass underneath and mishandled, and it's going to be out of play. Paige Americaus could not haul it in.
And we talked about how good, we talked again off air during halftime, how good of a job the Madonna defenders have done underneath. They have not allowed the Blue Devil bigs to really body them at all. Every time a Blue Devil big is shooting one of those hooks, one of those drop step, it feels like they're going away from the basket, and that's such a tough shot to make.
Good cut underneath to Williams, and that one does not fall. Trying to get the rebound does not fall. We have seen that in a variety of ways. Those open chances underneath the basket just not falling.
Yeah, and again, you do everything right because it's a great back cut. She's right. She reads the defense perfectly. It's a great bounce pass on the money and just can't get it to go off the window. Feels like there's been at least 10, 12 points left on the table for the Blue Devils. This would be a totally different ball game.
Definitely a lot of open chances, not only in those chances, but also at the free throw line as well.
Coming out with some pressure now.
Yes, they are. And drive down that lane, and Capaco able to rattle it home.
Yeah, it seems like the Blue Devils feel some urgency now. I feel like they got to force some turnovers maybe.
One quick drop step to the baseline, and that one does not fall again. Loose ball is going to be picked up by Marcela Rodriguez. Madonna keeps rolling on. Still a 20-point game. We're under a minute left. Capaco faked it. Euro step around with some contact, and once again, an and one for the Crusaders.
Great take there by Capaco. She senses she attacks the closeout, so Jacobs, not the quickest player on the floor. She's tall, but she doesn't move her feet very well. It's like that with a lot of bigs. That's normal, so she closes out, and Capaco realizes she can attack that closeout, drives right by her for the +1. And if you notice, Williams is also going to be looked at by the training staff.
Well, Lawrence Tech has been just beat up all over this game so far, as Madonna's just been holding their own. Capaco finishes off the three-point play. That's the fourth three-point play opportunity for the Crusaders in this game. Three subs are in for Lawrence Tech. Marlon Jones on a drive, and this is going to be a charge, and now it's Mosley who hit hard on the hardwood.
Yeah, and she may have hit her head there, and you hate to see that. You could hear it. You never – oh.
That's the last thing you definitely want to hear. We could hear it from up here, up on the track, just that thud on the landing.
Wouldn't be surprised, and you see Moore's getting ready to come in, I would presume, for her.
I mean, this is the kind of thing you may expect from both these teams. You got two teams that are rival matchups. You got teams in which the seniors are playing their final games. They're trying to leave everything out there. So yet the physicality is expected, but yet you still got to keep everything basketball. Yeah,
exactly. And that, I mean, I don't think that was necessarily it wasn't a dirty play. It's just super physical drive, a little out of control, and she gave up her body, and maybe she's wishing she hasn't right there.
That time a trap worked out. A little bit of pressure of Lawrence Tech of their own, and it's a turnover as Hernandez stepped out of bounds.
And you see, she was even upset having to come out of the game. She wanted to stay in the ball game, but there's no way your coach is going to let you stay in the game after seeing you hit your head like that.
Definitely got to take every precaution necessary, especially when it comes to something like concussions. Lawrence Tech wanting to finish off this third quarter, hopefully on a high note with one final bucket. Lucky, top of the key. 3-ball is no good. Rebounded by Marlon Jones. Second chance is no good. One last chance maybe. And that one is way high off the backboard and no good. That's how the third quarter comes to an end. It is a 23-point game as the Crusaders are starting to really run away with this.
Yeah, like you said, it seems like they may have shut the door there. It would require a miracle in the fourth quarter. Everything would have to flip on its head, but hey, crazier things have happened.
Absolutely indeed. So we're going to step aside as one more quarter left to play in our opening matchup of our doubleheader between Lawrence Tech and Madonna. We'll be right back. Ten more minutes left to play in our first game. This is our women's matchup between Lawrence Tech and Madonna, the battle of I-96 County line between Livonia and Southfield. Still a big crowd, decent, not only just for the expectation of senior day, but also for the men's matchup later on tonight. But yet, Lawrence Tech, they've got a mountain to climb, and they only have 10 minutes to do it. Inside of Moore, the high elbow ran into a trap. Ball knocked loose, picked up by Stevens. Now running to a trap of her own. Madonna, rather, gives way to Abby Ray. Quickly on it, Lucky, good pump fake, foul, and bucket. That's how you do it right there.
That's a tough finish through contact and a great outlet pass from Abby Ray. She keeps her head up. Some people, you're looking at the floor when you're dribbling, you're not going to see that. She keeps her eyes up. Great outlet pass and a tough finish.
Hopefully that provides a little spark to this Lawrence Tech offense. Lucky on her senior day trying to really provide a lot of the offense as we get a foul, and I believe it's going to be on Maggie Long as Hernandez was on the floor for possession.
Yeah, and girls like Lucky and Long, I mean, you know, this is your last 10 minutes, and this is it, and that can be a tough reality to swallow as a player. You've grown up, you're playing basketball your whole life, and it can be emotional, and you want to leave it all out on the line, and they both certainly are today.
More so if the score doesn't change. You would think Paige Wright would do the right thing. No pun intended, but just to sub out the seniors, give one final hoorah from the crowd as there's a good look underneath. Inside the paint, spin around floater, and that one falls in for Rodriguez.
And the ability to finish inside the paint just continues to be the difference in this game.
Those points in the paint, that was the big margin as we talked about at halftime, 22-4, but it is definitely going up from there. Back up top, Lachelle Moreland-Jones with an aggressive drive, and this time they're going to flag Moore on the bottom end.
Yeah, Lachelle Moreland-Jones not necessarily having been a scorer for them this year, only averaging right around 3 points a game. But we saw a couple of aggressive drives from here. Now, the first one, she took out a defender. That was maybe a little out of control, but again, the aggressiveness is good, and right there she's going to be rewarded.
Freshman year from Dearborn, nearby here. Went to Crestwood High School as that one just goes in and out. .23-point game. As time is just ticking down for Lawrence Tech. Same goes for Madonna. They just want to end their season on a high note, but the same goes for Lawrence Tech. Both these teams are not going to make it into the WAC Championship tournament that's upcoming within the next week. So yet more for pride, but yet more for practice. Long with a steal off the bad pass. Thought about the pass, but yet it's a carryover. She hesitated right there.
It was close. I'm not sure. She didn't get. It wasn't a horrible carry. Maybe. I wanted to see him let that one go. It may have been a carry, but like you said, she wanted to make that outlet pass. Then she saw it wasn't there at the last second.
She had Lachelle Moreland-Jones on the trailer. The fact it was there, but yet it wasn't. And now a trap. Lawrence Tech trying to play high course in terms of the defense. Another foul. And yet, again, we're going to see Terea Moore head to the line.
Yeah, like you said, Abby Ray not afraid to get physical inside. She's not giving up any easy buckets. But the pressure from the Blue Devils really hasn't done anything so far today. I mean, so far, Madonna, they've been able to break it. They've had an answer for every type of defense that the Blue Devils have thrown at them.
13 points, now 14 points for Terea Moore. Also a potential double-double watch as he has 7 rebounds within this game and also 1 block and 2 steals.
7 rebounds, but yet it feels like she's got 17, at least to me. I mean, she's just been a monster on the offensive glass.
In terms of offensive numbers, this Madonna team has put up 20 points in 2 of the 4 quarters thus far. As Lawrence Tech just trying to put some offense together. They averaged 8 points within the first 2 quarters. They put up 11 in the first, 8 in the second, 14 back in the third quarter. So far, only 2 depart in this fourth quarter. This will be inbounded by Stevens. Catch and shoot 3 by Ray. That one's off the mark. And we're going to get a foul away from the ball, and they're going to get Siedlecki.
Yeah, Siedlecki with a little bit of a push in the back. I wasn't sure if they were going to call that one. It wasn't a lot, but she got a little bit of a push to try to create some separation there.
Sierra Robinson checks in for Bailey Stevens, and now Stevens appears to be hurting a bit. That's now the 4th Blue Devils player that has appeared in pain.
And this is a point in the game when, you know what, this game's likely out of reach, but you're playing for pride. And for this, whether you're a senior or whether you're even an underclassman, like, you're playing for pride and you're playing for minutes as well. And we see a little, again, some chippiness there. That's going to result in a tech.
Like I would say, that it was a matter of time. Terea Moore, she was trying to take exception to the foul by Siedlecki, and yeah, that was an easy call for the official. And now another official is talking to the main 5 out there for Lawrence Tech, and I think this is where the officials are really laying down the law right here.
Yeah, and you have to, because at some point it can boil over, especially when a team starts to feel like the game is over. You feel like, well, what's stopping me from committing a flagrant foul or a technical foul or running my mouth because I don't have anything to lose. The game's over. So a good job by the officiating crew to stop this before it gets out of hand. If anything else happens, look for them to potentially kick somebody out of the game because it's their job, like you said, to lay down the law, and you can't let anybody get hurt.
So the original foul was on Siedlecki just for the shot attempt, and then they issued the technical foul on Terea Moore for the extra jawing, and yet you almost think from a player perspective or just a perspective of the fan that it was definitely unwarranted because the basket didn't go in.
Yeah, there's been, I mean, and that foul didn't look like too much to me, you know. And again, we're up here, we're not at the scores table, so we can't hear the type of chirping that's been going on between the games. So you never know. Maybe that's something that's been building up throughout the game, but it did seem like that was a little unprovoked from Moore. She got up and just kind of got in Siedlecki's face. But then again, we don't know what was said down on the court.
But yeah, that's just the chippiness that adds on to this rivalry between these two universities. And it's not just here. Take account from yours truly, who's been here for like 4.5 years. I have seen basically the worst between these two programs, no matter what sport it may be. So it is just a small example as to what this rivalry can turn out to be.
Moore's going to get some extra free throws here.
Well, more so this is just probably the original 3 throws that she was going to be getting, but yet for the technical foul that was issued, Lawrence Tech would have to have one shooter as well. There still is a lot of time left within this fourth quarter, about 8 minutes left. So, but yet you would think the officials, all 3 of them, had just decided we're not going to play around anymore. We're just trying to finish out this last quarter of basketball.
And the band to our left is giving Moore a little bit of chirps on that first missed free throw. She knocked down the second one and gave him a big grin. So you love that's kind of what makes college sports fun again. A little bit of a chippiness back and forth, even between the fans and the players. To a healthy degree, can be fun.
Absolutely, to a healthy degree. As Sierra Robinson is the chosen party to knock down both technical free throws. And Lawrence Tech will have possession. So that was the fourth foul that was called on Olivia Sidlecki. So she'll depart to the bench for right now. Kate Jacobs back in.
And we talked about the referees laying down the law. At the end of the day, the coaching staffs, I mean, these are the guys, you've been with these people. They're either mother and father figures almost to you at this point in your life. And they have to tell you, hey, guys, we're going to play basketball. We're not going to hurt anybody. At the end of the day, we're going to keep it basketball. We're not going to let anything get out of hand here.
Inside the paint, Jacobs again leading away. That time she was able to get it off the rim and in.
And she's gone back to that confidently. You love the confidence. Not necessarily her day inside, a little bit of a rough day, but she has not shied away from that shot.
Lawrence Tech just trying to chip away at this deficit, which has basically turned into a tall mountain. Smith over to King. King working against Long. They have a modified step back. His way to Smith. Shot clock winding down. A little floater on the run. Gets the friendly bounce and roll in.
And again, another paint touch there. We've lost track of the amount of paint touches. We may be in the thousands at this point.
And off the steal, and it was a loose ball foul. Everybody appears to be all right.
Some good sportsmanship there, and nobody taking things too far there. That was a basketball play. Somebody got taken out. It happens. Both teams are cool.
That's more like what you want to see. It's on basketball-type plays in which you want to bring out the best in your players. So one sub in. Ava Rodriguez is out. Malaya Bynum is in for the first time in this game.
And this is a chance for players like Sierra Robinson. You can impress the coaching staff here.
Good fake by Jacobs. Able to reverse hands and get it in with the left one.
And how about that? We talked about footwork earlier for Moore. How about that from Jacobs? She fakes the right. She's been going to it all night. Defender bites. Nope. Steps through. Goes up with the left.
Smith gives over to King. Over far side. And now Smith will try a three, and that one drains home. Only the second three ball made by Madonna today.
And it feels like Smith has had a sneaky impact on this game. She scored the last 5 for him. She's also had a couple of other buckets. Certainly not the number 1 or number 2 option for him, but she's had an impact tonight.
5 rebounds, 8 points, and 1 assist to her day so far. On that potential double-double wash, and they had Bynum alone all down low on the block. Bounce pass inside the paint again. Jungworth is no good on the finish.
And you see the whole bench clap their hands. They wanted to see Bynum get a bucket there.
And now Abby Ray with a drive of her own, trying to light a little fire for Lawrence Tech. Smith inside the paint again, got stripped, taken away by Maggie Long. Able to navigate through a couple of defenders. Now Robinson, a good fake. Abby Ray, wide open three, and that one drills home.
Ray with a 5-0 run of her own here. It's a 20-point ball game. They're going to call a timeout and say, hey, maybe we can still claw our way back into this. Look for a full court press coming out of this timeout.
20-point game. This is a full timeout taken, so we're going to step aside for this full timeout. 5:51 left to go.
Long didn't shoot that on that first look. She might have been a little open right on the catch and shoot there. Instead, she hesitated a little bit.
That puts Madonna into the bonus. Other than the first quarter, Lawrence Tech has put Madonna into the bonus all the rest of this game. So these fouls early, right at the 5-minute mark again.
Yeah, and that's a lot of time to be in the bonus for 5:17, especially with how much trouble they're having, with how much trouble the Blue Devils are having stopping them inside the paint. You're going to pick up a lot of fouls. Might be a lot of free throws here down the stretch.
Robinson able to bring things up. Around the screen. Long able to keep that one in play. His way to Abby Ray down low. A little bit of contact. There's Moreland Jones going for a second chance, and she's fouled on the way up.
Good job by Jones, just kind of flying in there. Not the biggest girl in there. Again, giving up some size, but not giving up any aggressiveness. She's got the heart, and she goes flying in there. Grabs that almost by the fingertips, and then gets fouled going up.
So Lachelle Moreland Jones right at the 5-minute mark. Lawrence Tech now also into the bonus. Trailing 67-46. Now make that 47.
And I've been impressed with the fight here down the stretch from the Blue Devils. Would have been easy to kind of throw in the towel and go, you know what, I want to go home. I want to go and enjoy the rest of my Saturday. What am I doing here? But again, you see them, they're fighting for their sisters on this team who are playing their final game. And this can tell you a lot about the culture of a team, how they react and how they respond when you're down big.
Final home game for Olivia Sidlecki and Maggie Long, as that ball was just rejected by Abby Ray down low. And with that, we go into our final media timeout of this first game. Lawrence Tech still trailing by 20. .446 left to go in our opening matchup of our doubleheader between Lawrence Tech and Madonna. Right above here where we're standing on the track, the Madonna men's team is getting loose, as that matchup will be right after this one, and that should be a dandy of a matchup, as that one driven and that one is sunk in by Dakota Smith.
And we talked about she's kind of been an under-the-radar player here. I think she's now got 10 points on the day. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That'd be 11 right now. Up top, Kate Jacobs will try a three ball, and that one sinks home.
And she's had a big fourth quarter here. We've seen her make a couple of those layups. She had the nice up and under, and now she shows off the range.
Sometimes it's just those little buckets right there that may help Lawrence Tech go up to a run, even though that this is a tall run. King again on the drive, little floater. That one does not get the friendly bounce. Loose ball picked up by Maggie Long.
King has gone a little quiet here in the second half. Blue Devils have done a good job on her defensively.
Holding her to only 2 points after putting up a dozen in the first half. Maggie Long three, off the mark. Picked up by King.
Good job there by Robinson not to foul.
Good handoff. Mosley all alone, cannot make that finish. Down low on the baseline. Moreland Jones with the pickup, able to get past half court. Abby Ray down low to Kate Jacobs. Good fake one way, trying to go with that left hand again, but no good.
And she got a good look, got open, just couldn't quite get it to drop.
King again working against Ray. A little bit of contact, no good. Rebounded by Jacobs.
The King frustrated there that she didn't get the call.
Long got stopped up in a double team. Up top, Jacobs is all alone, and that one is off the mark.
You love to see the confidence from Jacobs. Sierra Robinson, if she had stayed home in the corner, she would have had a free rebound. It came right to her. Sometimes you just kind of start jogging down the court, and then the ball bounces right where you were, and you're like, why didn't I just stand there?
3:01 left to go in a 19-point game. Couple of subs in and out for both sides.
This play's starting to fill up.
With the high anticipation of the game following up. Up top for Capaco. Able to get that bounce pass around. Dakota Smith inside the paint. Up top, Capaco again. Thought about the three. Pulls up from inside the paint, and that one rattles in.
Good job there. A little jump stop by Capaco. She could have taken that into the paint, but she saw multiple defenders there, and she likes that sweet little mid-range J instead.
Down low, or more like high elbow for Sedlecki. Inside the paint. Able to kick it out to Maggie Long. Up top for Abby Ray. She'll try a long three, and that one goes in and out. And Maggie Long gets the rebound. Wide open again from the opposite side. Maggie Long drills it.
And the Blue Devils starting to show off some range here late in the game. You know, that's one area where they have impressed me a little bit. They're not afraid to shoot, and you can see they've got some shooters. Just got to pair that with some consistency inside the paint.
Foul by Sedlecki, and that appears to be her fifth.
Yeah, waning stages of this game here. Like you talked about, subbing out those seniors. Potentially going to happen here soon.
More so the unconventional way. One last hurrah for Olivia Sedlecki. Able to finish out on the court one more time in her Blue Devil career.
Yeah, you can see teammates giving her hugs, and it's always tough to walk off the court for your last time. I mean, it's been such a big part of your life. For a lot of these women going back to even fifth grade, fourth grade, you never know when people started their careers, but certainly through high school, and you're just used to that team environment, and walking away from that can be really tough.
First one does not fall for Dakota Smith. It seems to be that head coach Jerisa Obi is going to empty out more into her bench with this large lead. We're about 2 minutes left. America House is in. Also in for Madonna is Taylor Adamson.
And besides the kind of senior night aspect of this, it's fun to see some women get some run that might not otherwise.
That one's off the mark again. Picked out by Hernandez.
It's always fun to see the bench reaction when you see somebody, maybe the 7th, 8th girl off the bench score who might not normally score, and everyone's so happy for her. So look for that down the stretch for sure.
Underneath, good handoff to Adamson, and a block by Jacobs. Long with the takeaway. Gives over to Robinson. Off the screen by Jacobs. Pull-up jumper from about the free-throw line is no good. Rebounded by Adamson. America House gives way to Bydom. Bydom had a good drive. Instead of kick it out. Jacobs with a high pressure, and she will foul. I think it's more so to just let Maggie Long get subbed out and have her moment for her senior night.
Yep, you're right. And here comes the sub, and one final moment here for Maggie Long.
Ella Hopper comes in. Maggie Long with a great Blue Devil career off the court one last time. Fans showing their appreciation, a lot of family in attendance. May not be the biggest senior class for Lawrence Tech in terms of their history in the modern era, but still, every senior year matters a lot.
Yeah, and it means a lot. I mean, if you're in the locker room, you know these people personally, and just having been around them your entire career, it's tough for your teammates too, because you see one of your longtime teammates and longtime friends, you're not going to play with them again. But you always have those memories, and even though a season might have been tough, you have those memories of going out to eat after games and all those practices and all the fun stuff. It might not always been fun in the moment running suicides, but you'll look back on it and smile.
And that was something in which Maggie Long was doing for most of the night, just smiling, trying to have fun. Jacobs trying to work down low. That time the left hand does work out.
She continues her impressive fourth quarter here.
45 seconds left to go in our opening matchup. Madonna more than likely will be ending the season with a win, spoiling Lawrence Tech Senior Day. And for first-year head coach Paige Wright, able to put together 3 conference wins, 4 wins overall. Trying to really put this program together. That one is put up for grabs. Hernandez able to get another chance. Saved by Ray on the cherry pick to Hoppert. Pass along to Robinson. Fast break, slowed down. Shot clock is off, and that pass able to get again. Hoppert with another 3, and that one's no good. Rebounded by Locke. Up for Jacobs. And they do call a foul with 1.4 seconds left to go. You admire the effort of Lawrence Tech, but the time winding down and what is going to be more so a 20-point deficit.
Yeah, and Jacobs giving it her all, though, down the stretch. I think she's got, if my math is correct, she's got 9 points already here in the fourth quarter. She's hit a couple of those drop-step layups. She's also hit a 3, but obviously Lawrence Tech's going to come up here well short.
That one does rattle home. Jacobs for her day, 5 rebounds, 13 points, 1 block, and a couple of steals. But for Maggie Long in her final year and final game, 14 points and 4 rebounds and 3 steals. And for Liv Sidlecki, 7 points and 4 rebounds, 1 assist. So that will do it. Lawrence Tech does not get that senior day win. Madonna will end on a high note. And so therefore, that's how this first game wraps up.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it was just the Crusaders. Their physicality was too much. The athleticism in the press originally kind of helped them separate toward the end of the first quarter, and they never looked back. All those offensive rebounds, Moore and King, probably the 2 MVPs for the Crusaders today.
So the final of this one, 57-73, Madonna wins it. But yet, coming up next is our big-time matchup. You got teams in 4th and 5th place, Madonna and Lawrence Tech. Men's college basketball will be coming up in about 30 minutes. We'll be right back. John Stowe and Zach Pree signing off for now.